y'all, Stacy here. Thank you so much for joining me for what I've been warming the past 2 weeks. That's October the 14th through the 28th. As a quick reminder, I do use mostly 25 watt and up Scentsy warmers as I am a Scentsy consultant. Those warmers are typically on for 15 hours a day. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so we can stay in touch. If you've been with me from the beginning of me making what I've been warming videos, first of all, thank you. And second of all, you may recall that I made a commitment to myself to make these weekly through the month of August and then reevaluate. Well, I've reevaluated. No day but today, right? So I spent the last few weeks trying the bi-weekly method to see if that worked for me better. And the truth is, while there are some ways in which putting out a bi-weekly video is a little easier on my schedule, I prefer the weekly method. So I am going to return to form. This is primarily because I miss your comments on my weekly what I've been warming. I miss hearing what you've been warming, and I miss the check-in that kind of posting weekly gives me, even in what I've been watching and kind of checking in with other people in the community. So I am going to return to form, and through November through January, I'm going to return to weekly posting, and then I will again reevaluate and see how that goes. I'm very excited, and I hope you'll join me along for the ride. This is cider mill, and if you saw my last haul, you know I just brought more of it into my home because I underestimated how much of it I would get through this fall. I just love it. It is such a warm, cozy apple scent that's just really hard to describe, but it's so cozy. People always comment when they come in and I have this going. It's just a beautiful, elegant fall scent, and I am tearing through it this season. Now it's time to give a little love to one of my year-round favorites. I think this is a year-round one. It's definitely one I melt year-round. This is Mocha Doodle, and it's important to note that this is a coffee scent, but it's not a coffee house scent. So this is not an espresso note. It more reminds me of like an International Delights take on mocha. It's very creamy, it's sweet, it has notes of caramel in it, and it's just cocoa and like a brewed coffee. If you like those types of scent notes, it's beautiful, and you should definitely give it a try. Now, also another kind of warm beverage scent, this is Winterberry Apple Tea. This is another fragrance that is a year-round melt for me. I really love this fragrance. It's just absolutely cozy. It definitely has a berry note, but it also plays year-round, even though I do think this one, yes, this is only available in the fall and winter, but it's tea and apple and honey with a touch of cranberry. Just a beautiful fragrance, and I love it. This is another year-round melt for me, and I primarily do use this one in my bedroom, but I enjoy it in closed concept living and sometimes in open concept living. It is a more neutral toned kind of fragrance. To me, it is a very relaxing scent because it combines vanilla with cashmere and sandalwood and a touch of bergamot. It's not, to me, a masculine leaning scent, but it is very beautiful, warm, and cozy. And I've gotten through another Frosted Fantasy. This has been, while I enjoyed it in my worm reviews, it's been a surprise hit to me, primarily because I have been loving the combo of melting this while I am burning the Threshold candle Apple Orchard. That's just like a candle sold by Target. I love that combination. This is a much fruitier, woodsy scent, and I really am enjoying it this season. Now, this is Alpine Escape, and it's minty air, spruce, evergreen, and I think there's another note that kind of alludes to woodsy fragrance. This is a beautiful one to me. I definitely do pick up more of like a eucalyptus leaning type mint, but it's a favorite in our house. It's a beautiful, woodsy, fresh air kind of mint in its delivery to me, and I think we're going to get through quite a few more of these. Now, this bar was a surprise hit for me. I loved the notes in this bar when I posted my warm reviews, but it was not a great performer for me in my open concept. So when I went in this time, I did use the full bar in my open concept, but it was glorious. It is so worth it to engage my whole bar of hayrides in my open concept. It is just a beautiful apple, hay, and cedar scent. I'm a fan. I have been in a season of needing and craving kind of comfort melts for me that can be crowd pleasing because we've had lots of folks over during the past 2 weeks, really past 2 months. So, this cinnamon woods really fits the bill and it is fast becoming one of my favorites. It's got pear, cinnamon bark, and it lists with sugared woods and forest, but this is just crowd pleasing, cozy, neutral, beautiful. Now, leaning more woodsy but still elegant and gorgeous is balsam spice. And this is one that is equally crowd pleasing. I have had folks that tend to not like woodland scents come in and really like this wood forward bar. You definitely do get, in my opinion, that charred cedar and that balsam. So it is a woodsy scent, but it's just elegant and also crowd pleasing and super comforting without being overpowering. Now, this is apple spice season, and it is more of a playful apple juice scent to me. It's lively and vibrant. I do find that for where I like the fragrance to be in my open concept, I'm fully engaging this whole bar. Like I use all 8 pieces in my open concept, but I get a great full day of performance out of it. And usually it'll drift a little bit into the second day, but typically I'm changing my wax daily. So I just enjoy kind of that full, beautiful first day if I'm not busy and don't change it. Now, this is sparkling spice citrus and it plays in every space in my home, but I have been melting it a lot in my office space because it is lively and bright while still being warm. So I just really enjoy it while I'm working. It's a beautiful mandarin scent. It does have a touch of black currant in there, and then just the tiniest bit of clove that provides it this kind of warmth that I really enjoy. It's warm and bright and utterly delightful. Speaking of delightful, this is Falling Leaves. It's not currently available, but it's clove, cinnamon, and patchouli. It's my favorite leaf scent, I think, that Scentsy has to offer or has offered in the past, and I miss it. It is in my club, so I'm grateful for that. It's I know people who don't like clove, cinnamon, or patchouli that love this bar. It just is an elegant leaves fragrance. Another one that I finished that's a leaves fragrance is Painted Leaves, and Painted Leaves is just a little more foresty to me. And it's also just, let me just, yeah, it's a little more forest or woods leaning than I would say leaves is, falling leaves. Falling leaves to me just kind of is evocative of kind of the fall and kind of leaves in general. It's not necessarily woodland, it's just warm and cozy. Whereas painted leaves is also warm, but it's a little brighter and it's a little bit more subdued, but it definitely has that blue spruce and red maple to give it a forest leaning fragrance. It's definitely not the whole tree, but it is the leaves of that tree. This is another one of those bars that has a tree note in it, but it is not a woodland or a tree scent to me. This is Sugar Plum Berry, and it's been compared to the Nest fragrance. It's from the Scents of the Season last year, and I love it. It's got spiced citrus peels, evergreen berries, and sugar plums with, I think, a touch of cinnamon or cinnamon stick. But this is just a beautiful fragrance. I have enjoyed it. I did have it in my club for a time, but I got a little bit of a stockpile and I removed it. I was kind of hoping that we would have seen it in clearance over the summer, but I don't think I have. So I do hope that this one comes back in some form or fashion because I am continuing to enjoy it. But I do have a stockpile, so still glad I removed it from my club. This is one that's still in my club. If you've been with me for a while, you know this is Midnight Masquerade, and it's one of my very favorite beignet scents. It's got the slightest touch of midnight lily and smoked vanilla with beignets, and it's just such a beautiful, aromatic, fragrant, kind of mysterious, fun, playful, cozy all at once to me because the beignet is just remarkable. It's lilting and magical, and I love that fragrance. I've also finished another warm pumpkin drizzle. I picked this up in a clearance sale. I really didn't pay good enough attention to it when it was a scent of the month. And man, this is a gorgeous one. I would have stocked up on this one and or added it to my club. I have so many pumpkin scents that I love, and there are catalog pumpkin scents that I think I still love more than this one, so I don't have regrets about not adding it to my club, but I definitely will be grabbing it when I see it pop up in clearance. And if it came back for voting, I would vote it back. It's a beautiful, warm pumpkin drizzle. I mean, it is what it says it is. It's very beautiful. I've been melting it a lot in my open concept, and it's just a fan favorite. Everybody seems to really enjoy this one, and it's another one of those good and cozy scents. I got through 2 of these, 1 a week over the past 2 weeks. This is Porch Pumpkin, and it is a most unusual scent to me in that it's a powerhouse of a scent, but I feel like it continues to become more potent for me in my home at hour 6. Like, it just continues to get more and more rich and pumpkiny as it melts. I do tend to only leave this in for a day just because of my practices. I'm sure it would go probably into the second day. But I fully engaged this bar, like open concept, kitchen, adjoining bedroom, and I've been loving partner melting it with spice scents. Whereas Porch Pumpkin is very much in your face, a pumpkin scent, Pumpkin Cashmere is a more subtle, full-bodied scent. It has wonderful throw, but it is not something that just kind of knocks you out when you walk in. It's got this beautiful hint of cinnamon with just what I consider to be like likely a blend of white and orange pumpkin. Since he doesn't say that in its description, that's just me pontificating on it. And then it also has a truly cozy cashmere woods. And the cashmere woods is what is just developing so gloriously as these bars age. I'm not sad that I took this out of my club, but I will always be grabbing it if I see it in clearance. Potential evidence that I am not, in fact, a seasonal melter. Whoop, you guys. This is Shamrock Splash, and it is definitely, if you are a seasonal melter, a spring fragrance. But for me, the kind of energetic vibe that this particular bar gives is something that I love to put in my office when I'm working, specifically when I have quite a lot to do and my energy might be a little lower. It's just a beautiful kind of zippy tangerine, red strawberry, and I think it has a floral note in there. It's like jasmine. I'll be sure to put the notes in the bubble below, but it's just a beautiful fruity fragrance, and I enjoy it year round, any old time. Not in my club though. And for my final bar, one that I have finally finished, what I mean by that is this is a bar that I have used 2 cubes at a time in the whole way through. I don't need more than 2 cubes in nearly any of my spaces of coconut lemongrass. It is a very lemongrass forward scent. It is beautiful, and it does have a tropical creaminess to it. So it's just a very hint of coconut to me. The dominant note is the lemongrass. It's very bright, still creamy though, and beautiful. But for me in my home, I am only using that 2 cubes at a time, and it provides us just this kind of bright freshness to the environment that I really enjoy. And I love when bars are like that. Honestly, I don't think I mind either way. If a bar needs all 8 cubes to get the fragrance I want, I'm still going to love and enjoy it. It's not disqualifying for me, but I do love it when 4 cubes or under can fill my space. Let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about that? Thanks for watching. See you next week.